We're going to get started with our last session. Thank you all for hanging in. I hope you've had a great day so far. It's been an incredible event here at .local in London. And now, next up, we have Gagik Amaryan, who is a senior software engineer. And he's going to talk to us, most importantly, about all the great stuff that happens when you go from local to cloud. And he's going to bring us through an overview of an intelligent developer tool suite for every stage of development. So I hope you enjoy it. Gagik, over to you.
All right. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can use MongoDB's developer and AI tools at every stage of development to really superpower your applications. And a couple months ago, Boris Cherny, the head of Cloud Code, said that coding is largely solved. Now, you may agree or disagree with this completely, but it's true that software development looks very different from a couple years ago. But today I'm going to be proving a different thesis. I'm going to say that productive development with MongoDB is largely solved. And this might be a lot easier to prove. And to do that, let's go on a journey. I came across this data set from the Modern Museum of Art in New York. It's a lovely museum if you've never been. And I wanted to create an application where I could search through artworks using full text search and semantic search. And that's been going pretty great. You can see here, I managed to create an application where if I type, let's say AI, I can do full text search and find artworks that reference AI. Luckily, there's not many of those just yet. So although this graph of anatomy of an AI system is pretty cool. But because it's full text search, you also see possible similar text matches. But it's a lot more interesting when you search with semantic search. Now you're getting results about machines and brains and intuitions. And this is a lot more abstract. I like that. And in this case, a lot more relevant to probably what I'm looking for. And once we have built this program, so that's been going really great. And I've been using a lot of agentic tools and developer tools from MongoDB to get to this point. And we're going to explore how you can do the same in your applications. And I'll also try to solve a problem I ran into while adding a new feature to my application and how I used the MongoDB query optimizer skill to optimize performance there. And at the center of it all will be the MongoDB MCP Server and MongoDB Agent Skills that were more recently released. And while I was developing, I adopted a very typical developer workflow where I first set up my environment, and then I wrote tests, and I wrote some code. And finally, I automated this in CI to get it production ready. So let's start with setup, and let's go step by step. We will need a local Atlas cluster for our development. And you might be wondering, why would you want a local Atlas cluster? The nice thing about running databases, and in this case Atlas as a whole locally, is that you can very quickly iterate. And it's a very safe sandbox for iteration. Especially if you are going to use AI tools, you don't want this to be connected to any production data and even staging data. It's just so much easier to have this all on your device and to be able to destroy it and recreate it as needed. And I would want to have some test data in there. And you can use tools like Mongo Restore or ask an AI agent to create a script to fill up your database with whatever you want. And I mentioned that my application uses search. So we definitely want to have some Atlas search in there. And for semantic search, we would want to have Atlas vector search. Now, that's a bunch of things to try to set up locally. How complicated can it be? It turns out it's very easy. And to do that with Atlas, you can use Atlas CLI and just type Atlas local setup. And in a few seconds, you'll have a cluster up and running on your machine. But these days, we aren't just developing. We're also using coding agents that we would like to integrate with our existing setup. The MongoDB MCP Server lets tools like Cloud Code, Copilot CLI, Cursor, Codex, and the list goes on to integrate with your MongoDB database and to be able to run queries and optimize different indexes and whatnot. And similarly, MongoDB Agent Skills help you guide your agents in a way that is written by experts and can provide a more reliable way of working with data and MongoDB. And it turns out that's also very easy to set up. We're really all about one-liners here. that can add these tools into your code base with ease. But these days, we don't even want to be thinking about CLI. And that's why we have also made it very easy to get this environment set up for you. If you use the MongoDB extension for VS Code or any of the plugins for coding agents like Claude, Cursor, and whatever else, they'll actually come bundled with the MongoDB MCP Server and the Agent Skills. So it'll take a couple of clicks to get to this point. And if you have a more complicated setup, you can use the MongoDB MCP setup skill to set up the integration of MCP Server to your database. That's right, we're going to be using AI to set up AI integrations, and it's kind of this meta thing that we have ended up in, and that's the state of software development, it seems, for better or for worse. And you can similarly create a local Atlas deployment using the MCP Server and agents, so you don't even need to be thinking about any of this, and you can just be chatting with an agent. Once we have done all the setup, let's get to the fun bit, coding. And with the extension, in this case, I installed the plugin for Cloud Code. I decided to go to my application and see what it does. This is a very easy and simple example where I'm just asking it to connect to my local code base. And it's able to figure out that I'm using this local Atlas cluster, so I can just connect to that. And I'm asking it to retrieve a sample artwork. This is kind of just a way of showcasing how it's able to run things. But you can imagine if you're writing a new backend query or want to add some new functionality, being able to query your database, learn about your indexes, and even learn about your Atlas clusters can be very useful in development. And the MCP server generally lets agents quickly familiarize themselves with the state of your database, and it allows them to analyze queries and aggregations using tools such as Explain, which help it figure out what would be the best way to structure your query. And we have also recently added tools that query MongoDB documentation using Atlas vector search. So again, we're using a lot of these tools ourselves to empower these AI applications. And being able to query MongoDB documentation easily lets you have reliable sources of information for agents. And it's a lot better than just a random verb search your Cloud Code and whatever might be doing. So I mentioned I was adding a new service to my application. And the idea I had was I was going to add a new page for categories. And this page was going to have some beautiful thumbnails for each of the departments in the MoMA Art Museum. And an idea I had is I want these thumbnails to be very relevant and dynamic. And I decided I'm going to rank all the artworks that are most semantically similar to the department name itself. So if you're photography, I want to have the most semantically similar photography artworks and have that for each of those. And I created this query. I used a very cheap AI model. I didn't think about it much. I just left it vague. And I ended up with that. And it seems to be working. I really like the thumbnails it came up with. But you might have noticed I ended up with a little spinner in there. And so it took about more than 4 seconds for this query to run. And I'm not going to get into this too much, but if you have worked with MongoDB enough, you'll probably see a bunch of red flags here. It really didn't do a good job at all, but not everyone is an expert at MongoDB, and especially if you're starting to work on it or you're working on a prototype, you might not care about it in the beginning. But let's see what happens if we use the MongoDB Query Optimizer skill on this newly added endpoint. And all I did is just say, OK, improve this thumbnails query. I don't really know. It's taking more than 4 seconds. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I've been vibe coding for hours. And here's what it does. So the Query Optimizer is guidance written for agents that was done by MongoDB experts. It first looks into your code base to figure out what's going on, how you're using the database, where it's relevant for it to work with. It found the place where I'm working with these thumbnails and realized that there's a query that's being done on the embedded MoMA embedded collection. And you can see here, it's trying to look at collection indexes of this. So it's learning about the database, and it actually figures out that there's an index on departments here that it could use, and it's not being used. After that, it is using the references that are provided by the skill, which is a bunch of aggregation optimization strategies, common anti-patterns for MongoDB, and uses that as context to really guide the agent towards a solution. And after that, it seems to have come up with a bunch of problems. I'm not sure how much of it was my fault, but I will let it fix it and see what happens. And after that, you see it's doing some things that seems pretty good. It's doing distinct, that's nice. And I don't have to deal with whatever duplicates. So yeah, it seems about right. I'm not going to think about it too much. And after that, it's going to try to see if the thing compiles. And if anyone who has worked with AI enough knows that it eventually makes mistakes. It made a kind of a funny mistake here where it started using this weird Unicode quotation mark, so then nothing was working, and then it fixed itself. So that was fun. I don't know what happened there, but we got there in the end. And then it decided to run some tests that I've written just to make sure everything is correct, which is great. And it now claims that it did 95% less work, which I'm not sure if that's true, but that seems promising. Let's check. Before that, what happened was the optimizer skill helped the agent with gathering the data and finding the solution. And it scanned the code base, connected to our local Atlas cluster, and then used different MCP tools to look up indexes and analyze query performance. And that's what led us to the solution with our tooling. And the result was something like this. As you can see, it's noticeably quicker. I can actually not even think about the spinner anymore. It's no longer annoying me. And we're looking at about half a second, and we're looking at the same results. So it actually did a pretty good job at being consistent with the product that we're building for it. And here's where, okay. And yes. Okay, and that looked to be an up to 4 times quicker than our naive solution. Now, I'm going to put a giant asterisk in there because I'm by no means claiming these AI tools are going to be optimizing your queries by 4x or giving any huge changes. But it is true that even if this gives you 10% faster query, or even just makes you 10% more productive, or lets the agent make 10% less mistakes, it's a very worthwhile investment, especially when it's so easy to set it up in your code base. All right, after we did all that, let's get it testing. Let's make sure we can productionize it and enforce these things, because we can't trust our local machines to do everything. So, we can start letting them open PRs, but we want to make sure our CI environment talks like our local environment. And syncing this is actually very easy as well. You can use the MongoDB Atlas local Docker image with just a few lines of code in GitHub Actions and other CI environments to replicate the setup that we just created for our local environment. And with that, you can similarly first catch issues early, and then also integrate the MongoDB MCP server to your GitHub Cloud Agents and other cloud agents, which also lets you make sure, even outside your local laptop, you can use these tools and give better context for your agents and other agentic workflows that you might be developing externally or internally. And in this case, you can see I'm using the MCP server with a cloud agent where I asked it, without my laptop or anything, just my GitHub code base, I just asked it to create a report about existing MongoDB indexes and some information about that. So it was able to run these queries without me having to ever open up my laptop. And with that, we can get our applications to production and hopefully ship with confidence. So to recap, what we did was we set up a local Atlas environment with just a couple of lines of CLI or AI, and we similarly integrated MongoDB MCP Server and Agent Skills to make sure they can all work together. After we did all that setup, we used agents powered by the MCP Server and Skills to create a much more reliable coding environment and an application, and we also used the query optimizer skill to solve a problem with performance that we had while developing. Finally, to get this to production, we set up a CI workflow that matches our local environment and is able to verify and is able to verify our changes. And similarly, we also set up cloud agents so we can run agentic workflows with MongoDB anywhere we want. And thank you. And I think if you have any questions? Yeah, I think we actually have some time for questions, so if anyone has questions, feel free to raise it.
Amazing. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you, Gagik, for that amazing presentation. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask while we have Gagik here? Great.
Hey, thank you. Can we use optimization for normally analyzing the existing database, how the indexes are built, whether it is useful or any scrap is there or not?
Yes, sorry, could you repeat the first bit?
The optimization, MongoDB optimization.
Yes.
Can we use the existing database model to be analyzed?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think it should fit, yeah, you should fit existing workflows. It's really more like a tool that connects to your database, much like, Compass, Mongosh, or any of the other existing tooling does. So it's kind of a client for your database. It doesn't need anything extra on top of that, if that makes sense.
Thank you for the question. Does anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, Gagik will be